So Nearpod is a new thing. When you get to that page, because you don't have the app loaded, put in the code. That's right there, MGLKN. The next page, it's going to ask for your name. Put your first name in that box. Why do you have two iPads? So is this yours?
No, this one.
Don't put anything in the second box. That's fine. And then go next, and you're logged in, ready to go. Help your table out if they need help. Nearpod.com. Right there. Because you went to the wrong place. Nearpod.com. Careful with the water, please. Do you not see water on the table? There you go. Hit the X. If you put your last name, it's perfectly fine. If you really feel you have to, go ahead. I gave you instructions on what I needed, but if you want to do the rest of it, it's really okay.
I just put my name.
So click on the box. Help your table out.
Our table's good.
Put the code in there.
Hey, the TV's not there anymore. Okay.
Okay, let me check. Mystery science, mystery science. If your table group doesn't have mystery science, help them get there. Hit next.
Now what?
You need to, Avery, just take a breath and listen, okay? You'll be okay. Just hit the arrow. Press the blue arrow. You'll be fine. Okay. We are going to shift. Should you be playing with the water? Thank you. You're going to use this iPad for now because yours isn't working. Put the water there. Leave the water alone. Raise your hand quietly without speaking if you have mystery science on your screen.
What do you need to write right there?
Avery, go back to your chair, please. Thank you. Your hand should be up unless you do not have it on your screen. Lift your hand up. Up in the air. Get it up in the air. You are a lot younger than me. You should be able to lift your hand up in the air. Connor, straight up in the air, like you're proud. Put your hand up. Like you are ready to learn. So last week, we talked about why do we wear clothes? So the first thing you're going to do is take a little test on why we wear clothes. You should see a quiz pop up on your screen. You press the go button and you will answer the questions. Yes, you may start. Thank you. Yes, press go. There you go. All right.
Excuse me, I need help with this word.
Include.
Include everything below.
Except.
Okay, I finished.
Okay, so just hang on.
Yeah.
Answer for yourself. You can answer for yourself. I want to know what you know, not your partner. I want to know what you know, not your partner. Press next to submit. Just press next to submit. Okay, boys and girls, you do not have to announce that you are done. If you quietly look up at the board It will tell you. It also tells you how we're doing as a class. So far, we've had a lot of people get things incorrect. Means we have a little bit of work to do. Okay? Let's see. We're still waiting.
But who got all of them right? Maggie, why did you put your middle name and your last name?
It's okay. We don't worry about that. It's not a big deal.
That you wanted to eat him.
Sit down, please.
I got all of
Sit
them
down,
wrong.
please. Sit
I
down,
got
please.
one right. I got all of them. Maggie, Graham. I got all of them.
We are being respectful of those people that are still reading and completing it. Okay, press next.
Nobody got it all right. Wait.
Okay, do it for yourself, not for her.
Who's doing
Stop. You should not be touching Connor's iPad.
He's moving the
You should not.
mouse.
He's not touching the mouse. I'm moving the mouse.
They pushed my back button when it was my name, and then they put like emoji.
Okay, Avery. Press next, girls. Submit.
I got one right.
Okay, very good. So why do we wear cotton? Why is cotton good?
Because it keeps you warm. Cotton is.
Okay, what else?
It absorbs sweat.
It absorbs sweat. Do we buy cotton because it's cheap?
No.
No, that's not a property of cotton, right? All right. So let's recap. Table 1. Lady, will read for me this first sentence, please.
We are stranded on a desert island.
Okay, we're stranded on a deserted island. Good. Go ahead, read.
Wait, what?
Xavier can go after you.
Please.
Rescue.
Rescue is at least 7 days away.
Rescue is at least 7 days away, so we might be here for at least a week. Xavier, go ahead.
We need to create a hat to protect us from the elements.
So we have to create a hat to protect us from the elements. Who thinks they know what elements are in this statement?
They're like the change of the weather, like sun and snow, and maybe like rain.
So very good. So for our situation, we're worried about the sun and maybe some rain that might come, right? Read the next sentence for me.
Okay. There are no stores, and we jumped off the boat wearing only
Right, there's no Walmart. You can't go down to Walmart and buy something. And all we're wearing is our swimsuit. Right? That's what we learned from last story. Last sentence.
The only materials we have to use wash up on shore from our boat.
Right, and we have them right here. These are our materials. You are going to get those materials in just a moment, because we are going to be testing out the properties of our materials. Before we do that, let's take a quick tour of our island. Now, this is a fictitious island, right? Which means it's not real, that we're on. The one that you're going to get to tour in a moment is a real island, and somebody went and took this video for us to be able to experience virtual reality on the island. Now, you are going to think you're going to want to stand up and walk around with your iPad. It doesn't do anything. Virtual reality doesn't work that way. But you can sit at your chair and move it around in circles and up and down and see what happens.
Oh, I know the thing. What? It's like VR. Yeah. I see a person. Yeah. I see a person. I see a person. Maggie. I see a boat. I see a boat in another island.
So Eden, you might not be able to turn around anymore. Swing around the other way. Go the other way. There you go. Do not, excuse me, I said you are going to want to get up and walk around, but don't, because it doesn't matter. It's not following directions. Thank you.
It's her friend. Is this another classmate on it? Is this another classmate?
Up. Avery asked a question. Is this another classmate? I told you at the beginning, if you were actively listening, that somebody had to go take this on an island for us to be able to experience it, right? So that's obviously somebody that went with them to take this video. We're pretending that this is our island. So we get an understanding of what it might be like to be stranded on the island. Okay?
You can zoom in. Yeah.
Well, you have an iPad, so you can zoom into things. Now, is there shade on our island?
No. Yeah. If you
From
go
what?
into the plants.
The plants, correct? The trees have some shade, but not a lot. Especially if all of us were stranded there. Okay, we are going to move on to the next slide now that we have experienced our island. You are going to have a chance to enter a question. Now let me point something out to you. Everybody look up at the screen, please. Keaton, everybody look up at the screen, please. Did something happen?
Yeah, it said near.
Okay, so unfortunately this is something we learn, right? This is a feature that is not available through the website. And unfortunately you guys don't have the Nearpod app on your iPad, so we'll move on. But let's talk about it. What properties do we want in our hat? What properties? Yeah. Okay, we have to keep the sun out, so what properties do we want from our hat? We're looking for some describing words, some adjectives.
A cover.
Okay, that's a noun. A cover is a noun.
Maybe like shade.
Okay. Think about our hat. What kind of hat do we want?
Cowboy hat.
Okay, maybe we want a cowboy hat. Why?
Because they said in the video last week that was the best protective hat.
Okay, but why?
Because it protects your neck.
Okay, what protects your neck?
The shade.
Okay, put your hand down. Sit down. Don't do that. Raise your hand and I'll call on you. Thank you. Go ahead.
The reason it is important is because it has this material inside that allows it to cover most of the cowboy's face. It has a material that is stretchy kind of, and it has a long, hard, round material.
Okay, so there's finally a descripting word. Stretchy, hard. What else do we want?
Ooh, shady.
Okay, shady.
Protecting. Long.
So we want something that might be a little long. Good.
Protective.
Protective, but what properties? We talked about properties. Remember? We looked at the properties of a suit of armor. We looked at the properties of the gymnastics outfit. What types of words can you describe for our hat?
Straw.
Okay.
Hat.
But that's not a property, right? Made out of straw, okay, is a property. But what do we want? Do we want it hard?
No.
Soft. We want it to do what with our sweat? Do we want it to be absorbent? Thank you. So absorbent. So those are the properties that we're looking for to describe our hat. Now, you are in groups right now, your table groups. One person from your table group, when I tell you to, will come up to the front table. You will select for your group a piece of aluminum foil, a paper plate, a paper towel, and a paper bag, and then return to your table. Come up and do so now. Line up right here. Don't look at me. I'm not picking your group. You pick somebody from your group.
It's Maggie. Oh.
Go ahead. Get your materials. One of each. Bag. Okay, good. And then return back to your table. Yep, you need a paper towel as well. That's one of the 4 things, correct? Are there any other instructions on the TV? So you shouldn't be doing anything right now, right? You should just be returning to your table. Now we are going to use the materials. Okay, for those of you that think you're controlling the cursor on the screen, you're not. I am. Okay? I'm controlling it. You are not. So leave your iPads alone. Using the materials provided to you, work with your groups to answer the questions on the following page. Now, because we had to switch to using the web version, I don't know if this is going to work. It may not. If it doesn't, oh, it looks like it is. Perfect. Great. Otherwise, we would have to be flexible and adjust. You are going to, as a group, answer these questions. Can I use your iPad?
What happened?
Number 1, you are going to do a softness test. You are going to check each one of your 4 items that you have for softness. Now, where does our hat go?
On our head.
On our heads. So don't take the tin foil and rub it on your arm unless you're going to wear your hat on your arm. Right? You need to see how it feels on your head. Circle all the things that are soft enough to go on your head. Then you're going to do a sweat soaker test. You're going to see which materials will soak up sweat. And you're going to take the spoon with water, drop a little drops on the items, and see which ones actually soak up your sweat. Then you're going to do a stiffness test. Which of the 4 items are stiff enough to be a brim on your hat? Where's the brim of your hat? The front part that usually keeps you shaded. Now, when you are stranded on an island, what is it important to shade?
Your neck.
Your neck. What else, Xavier? Okay, why is the brim of a cat in the front? What's it shading?
Your face.
Your face, especially your eyes. Your eyes can be very damaged from the sun. So we've got eyes, neck, and what's the other part that we should be considering? Or we can't hear anybody. Ears. Very good. Okay, start answering your questions as a group. You need to feel and experiment with all the materials.
Is there so soft on my head? Oh, so soft. This one.
Now, did the question ask for the softest one, or did it just ask for you to choose all the ones that are soft enough to be on your head?
So let's test
So take your hat off so you can test it. Okay, now look at the question. Is it telling you to circle just the softest, or any of them that would be soft enough to go on your head? Okay, well, you guys need to discuss it and come up with an answer. Okay, so what is the question asking you? But what does it say? Connor, read the bottom. Underneath softest test for number 1. Yep, read that. Circle materials. So it's not telling you to pick the softest, right? It's telling you to pick all the materials that are soft enough to go on your head. So are there any of those that you think are too hard to go on your head? Okay, so pick all the ones. So try the other ones too. So you're choosing all the ones that you think are soft. It's not telling you to pick the softest, right? It's asking which ones are soft enough to put on your head.
I think that the paper was soft enough and was long enough to make. No, I think that the
Okay.
paper plate.
What else?
I think that paper plate is almost like. Yeah.
So could it be all of them?
Yeah.
So think about it. Don't just choose one. Maybe you can be all of them. I tell you, if I was stranded on an island and all I had was a roll of aluminum foil, I would make clothes out of it if I had to. You know, it wouldn't be very comfortable, but I would, right? And
I'd even
especially-
make a sleeping bag.
Well, you could. It would be really good to keep you warm because the sun would reflect off of it and then it would heat up underneath. Might be too warm. Might cook you like an egg, so that might be good.
That soaks up water, they'll soak up.
So you need to test all 4 items with the soaker test. Did you guys do the soaker test?
Yep.
So which ones soak up water?
This one.
Okay. So did this soak up water?
After a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that one too.
No, this one's still wet.
So this is a very good repellent, right? It repels water.
This
That one, it's kind of got a little coating on it,
So
right?
should we put it?
I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. You have to decide on what would work best. Now, I probably would want this one close to my skin to soak up my skin. This probably isn't going to soak up my sweat right away. It's going to drip all over me, and I don't know if I'm going to want that, right?
Yeah, so you'll probably want to put that work.
So you should be on the stiffness test at this point. Did you guys do the water?
Yeah.
So which one's soaked up?
That one, that. This one. And
So that did soak up
Yes.
water. Those ones did what?
Those ones did soak up water. And this one.
That soaked up water?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It soaked up water a little.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think tinfoil is going to soak up water. Look, watch. It might have rolled off the water. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
But look. See? All that came off. So that is not absorbent. It repels water.
Mr. Cross, what
That
to
does
do
soak
when
up
we're done?
Hold on, I'll tell you. Make sure you hit send on your button. So I'm seeing some of you up on the screen. Thank you very much. Okay, some of you are submitting your worksheets, and that's what I need is for you to submit your worksheets when you're done. So press the send button. Avery, make sure when you're done you hit the send button on your screen. Don't worry about lines that are on there as long as I get the majority of it. So circle your options in the next 10 seconds. I don't even. Hold on.
I like to count because my favorite subject's math.
Up. Thank you. Mr. Cross? No, I do not. I have blues class. Elliot's class should be in art. They're my first class. MPR. Yes. Okay. Still waiting for a few people to submit. Check your page. Make sure you've sent. Don't worry about erasing. Just select what you need. Hit send when you're done. You guys are still working? Okay. If your table is done with your experimenting, one person from your group, put them in a stack, all the materials in a stack. Put your cups back on the plate. Take your stack of materials and put it on the stack on the floor, please, in the front of the room. Connor, are you doing something you shouldn't be? Did you already do your tests?
I didn't do this.
I'm sending
Okay,
mine.
stack up your materials.
We didn't do this one yet.
Okay, so let's see you do that one real quick. See if that soaks up water or not. So let's do this. Look what we can do. If we take our cup and we turn it sideways a little bit, and then we could do this.
Oh, wow, that's a bunch of water.
Okay, so is that soaking up water?
Nope.
No. So let's pour it back in. Okay, good. So now you've got everything tested. Let's get our materials put back. Should you be standing in front of the camera?
I love this class.
Avery, can you bring your materials up, please? Girls, are we almost done? Okay.
Moving by itself. Mr. Cross is moving.
So next week. Avery, where does that go?
Over here.
No, on the ground. Need to pay attention, Avery, okay?
Here's mine. I see mine.
Go sit down, please. So next week I will not be here. You will have a guest teacher. Can everyone sit down for me, please? I do not need commentary on every comment I make, which means you need to be quiet and listen. I will not be here. You will be working with the guest teacher on creating your hats. you will be given, each one of you will be given the materials that were off of our boat to make your hat. In addition to what you saw today, the 4 materials that you saw today, what would be a good thing for you to say to me? Thank you. You will also get 2 paper clips, and you will get a thing of yarn, a string of yarn, for you to use to build your hats. Okay? The hats are yours to keep. What I want you to do is to have the guest teacher take some pictures of you guys with your hats so I can see them because I won't be here, and I want to see how cool they look. Remember, we want them to be protective of everything that we can, as much as we can. Okay? You are not going to get scissors. You are not going to get tape. You are not going to get anything else but what you get. And you're going to do your best to make your hat out of that material. She will have, or he will have, a sheet that'll have some examples for you in case you get stuck. Okay? So do the best you can. I'll try to create some as well so that you can see them. All right? Okay. How did you guys like Nearpod? Doing the Nearpod?
It was fun when you pointed it around and you saw the island.
So if we can get the apps too, there's some other things that we can do. What that should have been was a way for us to post responses, and then you get to see your responses showing up on the screen. Okay? Great job. Here's what we're going to do next. We are going to carefully, do you guys take your iPads home?
Yes.
Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to carefully take your iPads. You're going to stack them up when I dismiss your table.
Did we log out?
You don't have to log out, it's okay. You're going to leave your iPads on this table when you're done. After school, you will come in and get your iPads. But this way, nothing happens to them while you're with Mr. Nicholas. All right? So, table 1, come bring your iPads over. Twist in your chairs, please.
So before Miss Blue comes, Miss Blue's not picking this up, I don't think.
It's okay, I'll make sure you guys get them. And you guys need to help remind me and everyone else that your iPads are in here. Table 2, bring your iPads, please.
We'll just come in like.
You can go line up for Mr. Nicholas. Thank you.
I'm leaving soon, but after you did dentist.
Table 3, you may bring your iPads right here. Not, you guys aren't table 3 yet. Table 3, Connor, come on, bud.
That phone call, I think it was from.
It wasn't for you. It wasn't for you, Avery. I would have told you, honey. Connor, come on. Okay, the rest of you can come. Put your iPads right here, please. That one can stay on the table. Get yours. That's the labs. Grab yours. Right here. Thank you. Thank you. Great job today, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, and then go to Mr. Nicholas's room.
Lab ones?
Connor, where should your iPad be? Where's everybody else putting their iPad? There we go. Thank you.